Nobody can tell me that God is not going to provide for me. God has provided, and He always will provide. I do not depend on person, place, or thing for my provision. God is my provider. Greetings, beautiful ones. Welcome back. And thank you. Thank you for being here. Happy New Year. Right? We are in 2025, correct? All right. Okay, so here's the thing. Every single year, every single day, every single second, we have the ability to change and create things that are not working for us. We can make choices to change things that don't work for us, right? We really do have the power to do that. But sometimes what I've noticed is that a lot of us try to do it alone. We don't realize that we have universal help, that we have a heavenly staff that is prepared to help us do all the things that we need to do. We choose to do it by ourselves. And I think that sometimes we choose to do things by ourselves because we feel like it doesn't matter if I ask, because it's not going to happen anyway. Like, God's upset with me, or God's not going to help me, or the universe is not going to help me, or I don't know how to pray, or, blah, blah, blah. We have all these excuses about why we won't step out in faith and include our whole team of beings to help us. Now, let me say this too, before I go any further. This has nothing to do with religion. It has everything to do with the divine connection of God within you. The divine connection of your higher power. The thing of it is that sometimes we never really take the opportunity, or we never really dive into who we are as spiritual beings. We see ourselves as this human being having a human experience, which we are, but we're spirit beings first. We're actually spirit beings having this beautiful physical experience that we can create and manifest by how we think and feel. So, at the beginning of the year, last year, I started writing the I Deserve What I Desire, which a lot of you have gotten. A lot of you have gotten the I Deserve What I Desire. And this book is really interesting. It's a collection of powerful affirmations and mantras, right? But this book also talks about how we have the ability to rewire the brain and rewire the subconscious. Every thought we think is manifesting. Every word we speak is manifesting. You are speaking self-fulfilling prophecies over your life every single day. So no matter what you say, no matter what you think, you are planting the seed that grows in the universe and attracts to you what you're thinking and what you're saying. And unless you rewire your thought pattern to choose different and higher elevated thoughts, you're going to be living the same experience that you have been living every day. The thing of it is that once we become aware of the God that flows within us, it elevates your consciousness to realize that you're connected to the all-knowing, ever-flowing source of all abundance. Not just money, but all abundance. But money too. Once you realize that you have the ability to truly change your life because you are creating your life, whether you're creating it consciously or unconsciously, the life that you are now living, the things that you now have in your existence right now, are things that you have called in. And you know what? We don't like to hear that. It's easy to blame it on someone else. And it's easy to get mad about it, and you can get mad at me about it. It doesn't matter. But whatever's going on in your life right now is because you've called it in somehow. And you haven't done the work to change that circumstance or situation. Listen, I didn't like when somebody told me that either. When my mentor told me that this was my creation and the little thing I was sitting in of crap was my crap because I was creating by default, I didn't like it. It upset me. I was very upset. Because of course I'm not doing this to myself. But one of the things that I didn't know was the promises of God, right? I didn't really know the things that God promised to provide in my life. And I was not truly aware of how God was prospering his people even before now. So we see all these people that are very prosperous, right? And most of the people will tell you, you know what, I've done the work. I've connected to the divine within me. I connect to my higher power, my ancestors, and my spirit team, and I get clear and I listen. Clarity is a gift that is priceless. Let me just tell you that. But also knowing the promises of God, knowing what God has promised to do in your life is huge. Because if you don't know them, you can't live them, right? You can't manifest from a place of knowing that this is my divine inheritance. This is my divine inheritance because that's what God said if you don't know what God said. So a couple of years ago, I created God's Promises. Y'all remember that? I created the God's Promises ebook with which a lot of you guys got, and I'm going to say I have thousands of emails where people talk about how amazing that book is and how eye-opening the ebook was. Then we created the God's Promises course, right? Which goes with the ebook. So I'm teaching and you got your ebook and it's changing lives all over the world. I have traveled all over the world teaching God's promises, like literally. I have women's groups from all over the world, especially those who are working on manifesting abundance. They call me. They want me to come teach it. Last year, I was actually in a conference and my spirit team told me it was a time for an upgrade of God's promises. And I thought, man, how can it be any better? Like I know life just keeps getting better and better and better, but how can it be any better? Like, it's already amazing. This time, they wanted me to talk about the millionaires in the Bible, in the Word. Did you guys know there was millionaires in the Word? And not just the millionaires that you could think of, like Abraham and, you know, the ones we know. Do you know that there are so many millionaires in the Bible? A lot of times we can't manifest wealth because we don't think we should have it. But here, God is giving people the wealth. Manifesting the wealth, allowing people to create wealth. And not only creating wealth by manifesting, knowing that they are abundant, acting in abundance, using what we call the law of assumption for abundance, but they are creating wealth by asking for it and then taking inspired actions. Here's the thing about that though. If you don't know how to do it, you really can't do it. If you're not willing to learn and know the things that you should know, not the things I'm telling you, but actually learning. Learning that you deserve what you desire, right? That's one thing. I deserve this because it's mine to have. I deserve to be supported by the universe. I deserve to be abundant. I deserve to live a life of wealth. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to have perfect health. I deserve it because it's my divine birthright. All right, so after after that last conference that I did, my spirit team set me down. Y'all not even ready. Y'all are not even ready. Do you see this? Do you see it? Listen, before I even go any further, and talk about the God's Promises Elevation Workbook, let me tell you something. Some of y'all ain't ready, but you really need to get ready, because time is passing you by. This is not a time for playing around with your life. This is a time to get grounded and rooted and know that you know that you know that you know. You understand? Isn't she beautiful? This God's Promises is a 340-page elevation workbook that goes along with the course, but you can just get the workbook if you want to, right? The good thing about the course is that I add to the course all the time. This book comes in hardback and it comes in paperback. It comes in color and it comes in black and white. You can choose. Let me just show you a little bit about this book. Here's the table of contents, right? Look at this book. Let me make sure y'all can see it. Can you see it? This book, not only is it beautiful, but the teachings in this book. It even has a place for you to journal in this book. It has worksheets for you to write. It has prayers and reflection. It has a place for your notes. And 10, not one, 10 millionaires and how they acquired their wealth and where their wealth came from and how they manifested it and created it. The next time somebody tell you that manifestation is not a God, pull out your book. Pull out your book, right? Pull out your book and say, okay, did you know that there was a millionaire named Lydia? Did you know? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that there was a millionaire named Lydia? This book contains scripture references, testimonials. This book is not only a game changer, it's a life changer. When you get into a divine flow of overflow and abundance, everything in your life seems to shift. When you get into a divine flow, listen, Fran is not going to do anything without God. Now, there are other channels you can go watch and they'll tell you about genies in a bottle and aliens and all kind of stuff. All kind of stuff you want to know about. Yeah. But Fran is not going to do anything without God. And Fran's not going to separate God from her goodness, because God is the source of my goodness. When you realize that, when you know that God is the source of your abundance and you realize how this abundance flows to you, nobody is ever going to be able to tell you anything different. Nobody can tell me that God is not going to provide for me. God has provided, and He always will provide. I do not depend on person, place, or thing for my provision. God is my provider. I didn't always know that. I teach you guys what I've learned through a 25 plus year practice. God has sustained my business for 25 plus years. I go back sometimes and look at business cards that I receive from networking groups I've been through or other things that I've attended, and I think, oh, well, maybe I should reach out to this person. Maybe I can collab with this person, or maybe I can have them on my podcast or what, and they're not there anymore. The business is not there anymore. Now, I'm not judging, and I'm not saying that you didn't do this, you didn't do. I'm talking about what Fran did. Fran has never taken God out of her life and business, and she never will. I don't care what's happening. I'm not doing it. I'm not trying to go so mainstream that I can't take God with me, because I don't want to be that mainstream if that's the case. If I gotta take God out, I'm not going. The promises of God, knowing you deserve what you desire, is a life changer. Knowing how to use them and apply them to your life, baby, your life will never be the same. I'm telling you. I'm a walking, talking testimony. I am a walking, talking testimony. If you really, I say this a lot. I say all the time, if you really are ready for God to move in your life, if you're really ready, I say that a lot. And some people are just not ready, and that's okay. I'm looking for the people who are ready, right? Because I'm ready to help you. I'm ready to help you get to the next level. But the bottom line is, I can't help you if you're not ready, and I can't help you if you're not willing to help yourself. I'm not going to do all the work for you. This is a lot of work. Let me tell you something. Listening, being dedicated, getting up early so that I can have that time, that's a lot of work. But you know what? It's also my life's purpose. I am 1000% committed to teaching and showing women how to live lives abundantly. It is important. And if you're ready, let's go. Let's do it. For a very, very limited time, and I do mean a very limited time, we are offering both of these books together as a bundle. So you can get I Deserve What I Desire, and you can also get this in pink if you want it. We have a pink copy. I don't have it right with me, but we have a pink copy, which is really cute. And you can get the God's Promises. You can get God's Promises in color. Your cover is always going to be in color, but the pages are color as well. The other one has a color front, and it has black and white pages on the inside. One is hard copy like this, and one is soft copy like this. The black and whites are soft copy. The hardback books are color copies. I did that so you would have choices. You would have choices if you want the hardback. I like hardback books. I like to feel them. I like the feel of hardback books, but some people prefer to have paperback books. They're easier to carry. They're easier to take with them. Some people say, I just stuff mine down in my bags and I go. We will leave in the description, and we will also create a link that you'll see going across the top of this, how you can get the bundle for the limited time. Let me say something to you. And it's important that you hear this. If you change nothing in your life, nothing is going to change. You're going to be on the constant merry-go-round wondering why my life looks like this. God has created the opening in your life by being within you and letting you know that you will not fail if you trust Him. Sometimes it may not be so hard to trust yourself, but it's easy to trust God when you know Him like that, right? When you got that relationship with Him. As time moves on, I keep hearing that it is so time. It's so time to get close and build that bond. It's totally your choice. However, I'd rather go and have help than to go and not have help. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. Hope this helps you. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.